What is going on, guys? We are sticking to the daily videos. Make sure to drop a like down below if you do enjoy it, and of course subscribe if you are new. If you haven't entered already, we're doing a 12,000 FIFA point giveaway at the end of November. All you got to do to enter, to be in with a chance of winning, is follow me here, and then along with that, follow me on Twitch, Twitter and Instagram. Show me DM proof and you'll be entered in. Without further ado, guys, we've got another set of incredible trading methods to make you guys a ton of coins, so let's get into it. So guys, the first club we are going to be looking at is going to be Real Madrid. So we're going to be sniping players from Real Madrid. We're going to check first whether we're going to be doing rare or just gold. So it'll either be gold rare, gold common, or then you can obviously have the combination of the two. So we'll have a look at what gold common's minimum is at the moment, see if we can get those pretty cheap. It does look like these guys are very, very cheap at the minute. We'll just see what the gold rares are like as well. Let's have a look. Can we get them for a similar price? So the gold rares, once again, very cheap. So easiest way to actually make profit here is going to be with the gold commons. So looking at this, 700, right, so it looks like we can snipe them for anything realistically below 600 and make a decent profit. Just having a look at these ones here, you don't really want to be getting Loon in because he seems to be sat pretty comfortably at 600. Now obviously this is the cheaper end of the free methods we are doing, so bear that in mind. That's why it is going to be such a low profit sort of filter. But just having a look, what we're going to do is we're going to see what they've got at 700. Look, we've already had a look once, so we've got a lot of Loon-ins at 700, which kind of, it seems like that's the kind of price he's going to be going for. At 650 you've only got these guys here, so what we'll do is we'll take the two 600s and we'll list them up at 700 to get them off the market. We'll make profit on those, but that's not really a snipe. It's literally just to get them off the market altogether. So we're going to remove that one there, and then we will also remove, let's have a look. Okay, so they're both 650. We won't get rid of either of them. We're going to snipe at 600 and hope that we can get, realistically, we want Orzabal, the right back. He's definitely a better option. Getting this guy isn't bad. He will sell for 700 after EA tax. It's not amazing profit. He's actually just like, he's almost like a secondary character in a mission on a game. We don't really mind having him there. We don't aim for him, so it's kind of just like the backup. Orzabal, as you can see, or Diozolo, is the guy we're actually going for here. If I check on Footbin right now, we'll just bring his price up, see what he's looking at. So right now for Audrey, you know what, I wish I could say his name. For this card, you're looking at about 750 coins. Picking it up at 600, you're looking at about a 150 profit. Obviously, after EA tax, slightly reduced, but definitely not something to complain about. So we're going to try and pick up 3 or 4 of him before we move on to the next method. But as you can see, like literally every search is a player. And if you can get Loon in for 450, it's definitely decent. Obviously, picking him up at 600, kind of low profit, but picking them up for 450, selling them on for 650 or 700 isn't something to really complain about. I do have for you guys some investments coming up now. If you do want to see those, what you're going to have to do is smash the like button, because it gives me a better bearing of kind of what you guys want. If you guys want that, let me know in the comments and the like button down below, and I will obviously bring that to you. We do have the second part of 1k to 100k coming soon, so I have got that for you guys. Going to teach you how to make the most profit and get to 100k really easily. I know that part 1 was received really well. The reviews weren't amazing, but it was received really well by you guys, so I will make sure to get part 2 soon. Now the next team we are actually going to be looking at, we're going to take away the gold common. We're going to be looking at Premier League players. We are looking at Liverpool players, so the reigning champions. Let's have a look what these guys are going for at the moment. It does seem like they have a ton of players who are quite cheap. We'll just see what the minimum is. So at 850, you've still got a ton just sat there. So we're going to go quality again, common. We're going to knock down as far as we can go, see where we can find them. So 750, okay, so that's not too bad of a price to be finding these guys. You can probably hear some fireworks outside my window, so it is, I mean, it was Guy Fawkes yesterday, but it's also quarantine, so how the quarantine works with Guy Fawkes, not too sure. But we're going to be looking at picking up players at 650 and below. Obviously, we are mostly looking at Adrian. If you take off the budget, I think we can check if there are any non-rares other than him. We got Grujic, you got Wilson. So there are a couple. If you can get Wilson or Grujic, you are obviously going to make a ton of profit off of those. So they're kind of the players we are really looking for. Adrian, kind of once again, secondary character of the method. Now we're going to get rid of this one here purely because it's the most, it's on the market at 750. I'm not actually going to make profit off of that. I'll probably, I'll break even if I sell it at 800, but because it was on for 2 days, it meant I couldn't do compare price. Whereas if we now take it off the market, we can do compare price. Have a look at these ones to see what the situation is. So you've got one there at 650. I think that's a nice little snipe. We've missed that, but it does mean we can knock down to, I mean, 750 and below. I mean, I've taken that card off the market, so that's definitely not accurate. There you go. We're going to go 700 and below. Took me a bit of a minute to start this method, so we'll do a little bit less of sniping, but hopefully we can pick up a few pretty quickly. Obviously, we're going for mostly the right mid and the Welsh guy. I think there was another nation in there somewhere. So there are some easy players to pick up here and make some good profit. If it's not Adrian, we're obviously going to be a lot happier than if it is Adrian, but still not going to complain either way. Once again, Adrian, secondary character. You got the 2 primaries, and hopefully we can get one of them with the Real Madrid filter. We did manage to get, I mean, I've got it still on my phone. It's Odirazola, which is definitely not an English name, which is why I can't pronounce it. But I will admit that is not my strong subject. We've got another one there for 550. So as I was saying, guys, like obviously, when I say secondary character, like he is useful in the method. We don't want him as much as we want the other players, but that there is still a 250 coin profit. Obviously with EA tax, you're looking at about 200 coins. Nothing to complain about at all. Like if you knock the max buy now down to 600, and everything you pick up is going to be a decent profit. But the reason we're doing 700 is because that's like the minimum for us to get like at least sort of around 100 coins. And then it kind of gives us a broader range to find the other players, because we're not actually looking for Adrian, as I've said. We are looking for those other guys, but you know, we might as well take all the profit we can get, rather than, I think if you actually just set the filter so you can only pick those 2 guys up, you would be minimizing your profit, because we haven't seen them once, whereas we've seen Adrian a ton. So it does give you the opportunity to make a few more coins. If we go along all the way to the end here, if there isn't any up at a day, we can see if we can do a little bit of compare pricing on here as well. Would be helpful if it loaded a little bit quicker, but you know, that is EA with their crappy servers. Can't really blame them, since I do use my entire YouTube channel on their game. I can't really say too much about them because I don't want to get banned. I've seen them doing a lot of banning recently. I think they hit a few Twitter accounts. I'm not sure why. I haven't seen the details on that, but they did remove some people who make kind of like a living off FIFA, which is definitely a position that I'd love to be in, but I definitely do not want to be in the position where they are finessing me for it. What we'll say is, if we can't get, let's say, give ourselves like 15 seconds. If we can't get another card, we will move on to the next filter. I mean, you guys can see how it works. It's pretty simple and it's a very easy one to follow. So we'll say 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, and we're going to get kicked out, so we'll move on to the next one. So guys, moving on to the final team, we are looking at Dortmund, and we're just going to have a look. Will we be doing rares? Will we be doing normal? We'll just check in a moment. It does look like their rares may hold a bit of a better value, which is quite surprising when you think like Liverpool and let's have a look, 950 here. To be fair, it does look like they are actually holding a bit of a better value like than the other 2 teams. Kanji, that's a snipe, isn't it? No, right, I'm an idiot. Let's just have a look. If we were to go to a K, what we got here? So there's a couple. We do want it on gold, definitely. We'll just have a look down here. Like when you compare it to Liverpool and Real Madrid, you'd think that Dortmund would have less rares that were like cheaper. Oh, why have I just done that? Why am I dumb? Why am I an idiot? Oh my god. Why am I? Right, okay. Sniping head on. Right, let's go. Okay, so that's all the cards under, what, like 950? Let me just check the prices of these guys on Futbin. Remember guys, Futbin is a very good app to get. It gives you the opportunity to immediately check like within sort of a second how much a player is. Munier is apparently going for 1.4k, which isn't accurate. because obviously Footman can be a little bit behind. That's something you've got to bear in mind. But he is definitely going for a K. Then we've got the Hood, who is going for 1.5 supposedly, and then we've got Hits as well, who's going for 1.3. So these guys are all going for around the K, which is what we're going to list them for. We picked them up all very, very cheap. We're just going to see if we can work out the actual market value of these Dortmund players before we continue. So if I knock this down by 1 and just search, so you do have one there. We've got one Munier. I think they are actually going for probably around a K, but people are just dumb and listed them for the wrong price, which not going to be something I complain about as someone who makes profit of that. Very, very happy with that. We're just going to have a look what they're actually going for. So where do a ton actually come up? So 950 maybe. You've still only got 2. So wait, are people just really bad at sniping at the minute? Because why am I picking these all up so easily? Like Hazard, how much is Hazard going for? Because surely that Forgan is right. 1.7. Nah, that's got to be wrong. That's got to be wrong. He's not going for. Let me have a look. Maybe he is. Well, we'll put him up for 1.4. We'll see how many of these sell, because this could be a really ridiculous method, guys. I'm pretty confused at why these guys are being listed so cheap. Forgan Hazard again. Let's knock it down to 800 because we're literally guaranteed like a done profit every time. And let's just see if we can get something done, because I think all of them are done. I'm almost sure that people are literally listing them at like the dumbest prices. If we go at a K, how many you got? So at a K, there's a ton. So it would seem these guys are going for a K, but when you're able to pick them up for literally, I mean, they're all 59th minute. So it's potential that they could even be more expensive. Because if they're all 59th minute, it means they're all selling on pretty quickly. I mean, I wasn't having to snipe very fast a minute ago, but we'll knock it down to 850. We'll try snipe 1 or 2 fast, but to be fair, I think they're selling on pretty quickly. They're easy to pick up. This might be a very, very good method for you guys. So make sure to be using it while we still can. We got Emre Can there, who was, I think, at one point in this game, like 50k maybe. He was like something stupid at the start of the game for like an 82. Like, one thing to bear in mind, guys, 82s are not going to hold value. 83s are not going to hold value. Over time, obviously by Christmas, like Valverde, I think he's like 30k at the moment or around that price. He's going to drop. Obviously, Sissoko was like 40, 50k at one point. He's now like 8. You've got to remember that rating will eventually become a predominant factor. Obviously, the skill of the player is big as well. Gomez isn't going to drop. Like, that's going to be a ridiculously expensive card all year round. That's not going to change. But that's not because, you know, all 83s are hold value. Gomez is Gomez. It's like Van Dijk. He's just absolutely AIDS. We're going to grab one more. We're going to call it a day, because this has actually been a surprisingly good method. It kind of threw me off guard the way we were picking them up at first, but really good, really easy to sell on. Let's actually have a look how many of these have sold on already. We've got 15 on the transfer list sold on. Have any of them been fortunate enough to be the Dortmund guys? We've got Munier there. We got the Hood there. We got Adrian. We got Lunin. We got another Hits there. So they're all selling on. So very, very easy method. I hope you guys have enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.